Hey everybody, this is Marcus and I'm here today for Keyboard to review the Electro-Harmonix Mini Synthesizer app for iPad and iPhone. Now this is a pretty basic and easy to use emulation of the Electro-Harmonix analog mini synthesizer from 1980 and 81. So a lot of you may say, what? The Stompbox guys? They made an analog synthesizer? Yes, they did. But not for very long because it did not prove to be nearly as popular as their micro synthesizer in pedal form. But that's all water on the bridge now because you can use this app and get all the character and sound and benefits of the old hardware version, plus a lot more new modern features. And it's only $4.99 for iPad and $2.99 for iPhone. So let's run through some of these sounds. So I really like some of these warm analog sounding, they're not actual flutes or clarinets, but they have kind of they sort of sound like a medieval troubadour vibe, but with an analog synth sheen. And this would be a good time to show on this Mellotron instrument that there's monophonic mode and there's polyphonic mode. So you can actually play chords, and you have an 88 note range keyboard rather than a mini keyboard like the old version, but you can play chords. You get 4-note polyphony rather than the monophonic original version. Alright, so let's run through the parameters that we have here. The single VCO pulse oscillator doesn't have a ton of options here, but you can flip the octave up, adjust the pitch like so, and the tuning. And I really like the sub octave too, so it gives you a little more beef there. And then in the filter section, the VCF filter section, some of the terminology is a little different than what you normally see. But Q stands for resonance. And then there's like phase shift and pulse width modulation. The retrigger is for whether the filter retriggers every time a note is hit or not. So now you got something really different from the original synth bass. So you just hit this save button up here and give it a new name, like anything you want. And then you've got it up here in your user preset patches. There's 22 presets that come with it, and you can save as many of your own as you want. There's really no limit. Now let's check out the effects with a different sound. You've got delay and reverb. And the blend knob is kind of like the wet dry, or the blend slider is like a wet dry knob. The time of the delay can be, really short, up to seconds probably. We got feedback going. So now we got a little of both effect, and you can switch the order, so going from delay into reverb to reverb into delay. Kind of notice the reverb more when it feeds into the delay, because it just washes it out a little more. You may have noticed that there's a traditional keyboard as well as a chromatic keyboard that you can choose up here. Some of the presets have chromatic pre-selected. And another cool thing is this ribbon controller. So with the ribbon controller, it gets really fun when you already have notes feeding into it. And up here you have MIDI options. We're running this off a network session, so I'm feeding notes into the app from a DAW. And you can also, MIDI map your controllers that are connected, make it a little easier for you. So that's really kind of the gist of Electro-Harmonix Mini Synthesizer. There's not a ton to it, it's not complicated, but it does have some cool sounds you can get out of it. Yeah, I really like the sort of warm, not quite acoustic instrument sounds. And it also can come up with some sort of nasty, filthy basses and some special effects sounds as well. So it's got some good options, and it's not meant to change your life. It's just meant to be another good sound source for you to use. It has inter-app audio bus, so you can use these with your workstation apps and use it as another cool sound source in your toolkit. And it's also be a good way for people learning synthesis to get some basics in there. So that is Electro-Harmonix Mini Synth. Have fun.